On our most recent trip, I ran into well, not another, but a new issue with the Carefree awning. And I had trouble deploying this leg. And basically what happens, when I get out to about here, those of you who have one of these would know this. See these two tabs? The idea of those two tabs is they need to be clear enough this way so this will pivot, which lets you put this arm in different locations, but this one does not pivot. And the reason is because it will not fully extend. And I don't know why. And while we were gone, I think I ended up forcing it to come out, which was okay until I tried to close it up. I couldn't get it to go back in. And that was a bigger problem, that I couldn't get it to go back in. I ended up, what I saw was, it looked like there was something poking out right down in here. I know you can't see it, but there's an opening down here. And what I ended up doing is I ended up hammering that back in, kind of like with a punch to get it to go back. But it's still not working correct. So I'm just trying to diagnose what's going on here and see what I can do about it. As I go, I'll try and tell you what I learned. Okay, so I'm up here messing around a little bit and I'm just trying to see what I can learn. The first thing I thought I would do is, try to understand what, if anything, could be restricting the flow. Now I have just a little pick here, but I just thought I'd go through this channel and just see if there's anything down there. And right there's something that looks like some kind of a pebble, stone, something. So I'm just gonna push that kind of down the end. If it falls out, we might not see it, but I'm sorry. Can't do this and film it at the same time, but oh, wait a minute. I just moved something. Ah, here we go. I don't know what this is. Let's see where it went. I don't know if that's an important piece of the awning. I'm gonna go look. I'm gonna get it. I see it laying on the floor. Before we look at that, let me just try this now that that's out of there. There it is. That's the way it's supposed to work. Okay, mystery solved. Let's go see what that is. This is what I pulled out. I think that's just a stone. Yeah. Kind of feels plasticky, to tell you the truth. Well, anyways, it was in the way. I'm gonna treat it like it was just a foreign object that was in the way. Well, there you go, mystery solved. While we're working on the awning, I want to point out a problem I have. This is the front of the awning, but you'll notice when it's closed, it's actually about a ½ inch open. Not fully retracted. Let's go to the back and see what that looks like. Okay, here's the back. It looks like it's not closed, but it is. I'm trying to show this without getting the light in the background, but that is actually fully retracted. What you're seeing there is just the aluminum end cap. Let me turn around over here. You can see a little better. See, it is. That is in tight. So I did some research, tried to figure out how to fix this, and surprisingly, there recommended solution is to kind of shim the roller such that when it's rolling in, it pulls in more fabric. That's, to me, kind of hokey, but you know, the bottom line is the awning is not being pulled in a square fashion. So it's their way of trying to make up for that. So I don't know. I had to give that some thought, take a closer look at things. I learned a little bit about adjusting these Carefree awnings. And I wanted to come out and just take a look at mine and see if the adjustments were the same, and as it turns out, they're not. But let me take you up here and I'll try to point out, I'm looking at this area right here. This towards the front of the awning. And I want to tell you what I learned. Up we go. You can see I only have the awning extended about 18 inches, which apparently makes it a lot easier to make any adjustments. And one of the things I want to point out is, if you can tell, but this arm that's above me is actually hanging a little lower here than the one in the back. If I just raise the awning, I've just got my hand on it over here. If I raise the awning, you see that arm goes up. So apparently there are ways to adjust the height, you know, front to back. So mine kind of is lower in the front when it's extended, higher in the back. For the most part, that doesn't bother me. I like to have one side a little lower so rainwater runs off. But what you can do to adjust that level is this. On mine, it looks like it's this Allen screw. I'll let you look here. Now, when I just lift the front, watch what happens. See how that comes up? So how much that drops is settable by this 5mm Allen nut. So I'm going to use that and just tighten that in a little bit and try to bring, you know, this more into a level front to back position. That doesn't necessarily change where this bar hangs, I don't think, but it will have some effect on it. So I'll go ahead and make that change first. I'll just set you up on a tripod while I do this. Hopefully I don't block too much of what you can see. So for mine, this is a 5mm Allen wrench. So I'm just manually lifting this up to take tension off of this. And I'm just screwing that in like that. Let it go. Okay. It feels like it's higher. And all I did is screw that in a little bit while taking tension off of it. Just looking underneath there. Okay. Now, this apparently, I'm gonna go get a necessary wrench, but apparently you can use this to raise this bar. I'm not sure if that'll be true on mine, but we'll give it a try. Just give you a shot here. It's not that easy to tell, but this bar right here is lower, further away from the canopy than what this one is. So I'm just gonna tinker with trying to raise this up and see if that bolt over there does in fact do that. All right, got what I think is the right wrench. So this is a 17mm. The video I watched said that's the right one. Yeah, it is. And what they said is if you tighten this, the bar should, or that position there should go up. So I'm just tightening, and sure enough, it does go up. Right about there. So that's about, take it down a notch. Right there. Now I think it's level with the one behind it. Of course, that does nothing for trying to close this at the same time, but you know, I guess the experiment here is, does it open and close differently? Is it level when it's out? So let's see what happens. All right, so I'm gonna let you watch this come out. Let's see what we get. Let's move this back a little bit. I don't think we have a clearance problem, but Fully extended. Take a look. Let me get back and get a gander at this. Well, it does look pretty level. Actually, to me, it looks like it's higher on the front than in the back now, which is okay. All right, you know, just height-wise, I'm a short guy, but you know, I can just about at my max reach here. Same here. Let's see what happens when I close it up. Well, as expected, it didn't fix this at all, but you know, I had no right to assume it would. They said you had to use some kind of shim to do that. I'm gonna get you in close while I take a closer look myself. All right, I got you up real close here. Basically what they said was, they don't want you to put a shim in there unless you can feel the aluminum roller, and I cannot feel the aluminum roller. I still feel fabric up there. So this is not the time to put a shim in there. Apparently they want you to mess with the motor adjustment to get it to come out far enough to get a shim in there and then, you know, go from there. But I really don't want to mess with the motor adjustment. So I'm going to not take that route. Well, I think that's about the best I'm going to do with this. So if you like these videos, would love to have you subscribe. Give us a like on the video, give us a comment, let me know what you're thinking. Take care, bye.